Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Stacy Hansen.
I'm Justin Riley, and we are here at Zenith Limousine and Jet, right here in the parking lot.
Yeah, right here.
It's a cold, crisp day. It's not so bad in the sun, but we're gonna.
The limo's ready to take us off into the sunset or
Yes,
sunrise,
yes.
or depending on what time it is.
I wish. I wish. But anyway, we're going to be talking with those folks later on in the show. They're going to talk about their, that's right, valet service. They loaned me one of their jackets. They have digital valet, so they you can send a text message and they'll come and get your car for you and bring it
Yeah,
back.
it's cool. You can use an app right on your phone. They'll scrape the ice off your windows, brush the snow off, warm
Yeah.
the car all up. It's great.
It's time to start thinking about that now, for sure.
We're also going to have Barton Giglio Martial Arts on the show. This will be my first time meeting him.
Yeah, he hasn't been back for a couple of months now. He's been pretty busy, but we're happy to have him back. He's going to talk to us a little bit about black belt testing and also testing in Tai Chi. I think that'll be really interesting to hear about that. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear how they do it differently between karate
Yep.
and Tai Chi and
Yep.
just what all that entails
Yep,
to
absolutely.
get that black belt. We'll also have Terra Experience on the show today. They've got some really cool doll clothes made in Guatemala.
Fair trade doll clothes. Yeah, absolutely. That'll be coming up right after the break here in Wisconsin Family, so stick with us.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're shooting on location at Zenith Limousine and Jets.
We are indeed. What a great place this is, too. They have a lot of great deals.
They do, so we'll have more on that coming up next. But with us now is Terra Experience. This is Lynn Person. She's the owner. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So you've got a lot of cool stuff to share with us today. So let's just start from the beginning. What's your specialty there?
Terra Experience specialty is fair trade doll clothes that come from Guatemala that are hand woven on a backstrap loom and keep the weavers' kids in school.
Oh, wow, okay.
Now, not everybody needs doll clothes,
Right.
so I also have things like scarves
Sure.
and books and paintings by artists and
Sure.
earrings and things like that. But the specialty really is the doll clothes.
That's fantastic.
And they fit 18-inch dolls. I have also for some 16,
Okay, all right.
23-inch. Not all the weavers come through exactly with the right size sometimes.
Fair trade doll clothes. That's so cool. And other accessories, it looks like, as well. I like the scarf that you're wearing today. What makes these doll clothes so unique?
Well, I don't think that there's too many others like them, for sure.
Yeah, I think you're
And
right.
what it really does is encourage a girl, let's say if she's taking a Spanish class or has friends that are from other countries, to basically imagine, grab their favorite doll, and try to explore another world, another culture.
Oh, wow, yeah, for sure.
And you can do
It's a
it
taste of another culture right there. in your
right
hands.
there. I mean, a lot of moms work with their daughters when the International Day is coming or something like that. But other that are weavers or such buy because they're just unique, hand-woven, beautiful works of art.
Right, they're not something that just kind of comes off the assembly line. I mean,
Or the
each-
sweatshop.
Yeah,
Right,
each one of them is
right.
unique and different from the next one.
Yeah, and I like that it's shopping for a cause too. Like you said, it's keeping the kids in school. helping
Right.
keep them in
We
school.
really,
The opposite of the sweatshop.
exactly.
So what are some of the stories behind some of your products?
Well, I'll speak of one, Juana. She is from Patsun, Guatemala,
Okay.
and her huipil is the name of the blouse that they weave, and it can take 2 to 3 months to make one of those beautiful blouses. First, they make it on a backstrap loom, and then they hand embroider around the neck.
Wow.
And I met her, 20 years ago, and her granddaughter and her
Sure.
4 daughters, and asked if they could make doll clothes, make her traditional a little smaller. One of her daughters, or granddaughters, was that age or a little bit higher. And so I gradually developed a relationship. In the first year I did 1 dozen, the next year I did 2 dozen.
Right.
And then I said, okay, I'm going to order 3 dozen and pick them up next year. And she looked at me and she said, well, Lynn, I have 4 daughters and then there's me. Can you buy 5 dozen?
Oh.
And so I came back the next year and they'd all made 2 dozen.
Wow.
So I had 10 dozen.
Wow.
But the neat thing is this family works together. I've visited their small farm. 2 of the granddaughters, the one that I met, one of them now is studying environmental protection or in natural resources, and I was in natural resources, so that has a special heart to me. And then another granddaughter's in nursing school at the university. And these, Juana never went to school. Her daughters may have made it first or second.
Yeah.
And 2nd grade?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Most kids in Guatemala don't make it past 6th.
Wow.
So it's really hard for them to pay for the school supplies, the whole thing. Theoretically, it's free down there, but everybody's got to pay for the books.
Right,
there aren't books. It's just
Yeah.
Right. Supplies aren't free. in other
And now
words, so-
here they are going on to
Yeah.
higher education.
education. Now,
Super
those are some of the
exciting.
good stories. There are also some where I kind of go, oh, you really shouldn't have had a kid then.
Right. Yeah.
Some of your options aren't quite as good as they
Yeah.
would have been.
So many great stories that you have for where these things come from, but I mean, not everybody needs doll clothes. So talk us about some of the other things that Terra Experience offers.
Well, we have hand-woven scarves like this
Very
in
nice.
all sizes, colors. I mean, I'm a subtle person, so I don't go for the bright, but there are beautiful, striking colors as well.
Yeah.
Francisco from Todos Santos makes wonderful bags that I was at a show yesterday and people just grab them up because you can just carry little things. And there's, paintings.
Wow.
All
sorts of-
range.
Not
I
just
can't.
clothing. I mean,
Not-
all sorts of different things.
And they have good stories too.
Right.
Louise, who makes these earrings, is a silversmith that is in a small hole-in-the-wall
Yeah.
shop. And he sells Cheetos and things also at a shop and Coke.
Yeah.
But he has managed by making these and really hard work. His daughter just graduated from medical school.
That's awesome. That is
So I mean,
awesome.
they're beautiful, but they have a beautiful
Yeah.
story behind them.
Lynn, we have to have you back on this show because you have so much to tell and we're out of time. I can't.
Oh well,
believe
let me show you a picture of my husband's shop where I've got a corner, I've got a website, and you can also come to the Fair Trade Festival December 3rd and see my products as well as 50 other Fair Trade weavers there.
Awesome. Lynn Person from Terra Experience,
so
thanks so
much.
much for joining us. Don't go away. More Wisconsin Family coming up after the break.
'Cause every day is a new day.
We're back on Wisconsin Family, and we are here at Zenith Limousine and Jets.
Yeah, our first time here. I'm really looking forward to seeing what all they have to offer.
Yeah, it'll be good to talk with them, but first, we're going to talk with an old friend. This is Chris Martingilio from Martingilio Martial Arts. Good to see you again,
Good
Chris.
to see you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you for the first time, right?
So you had black belt testing this past weekend. How did that go?
It went good. We had some people very happy with the results, some people not so happy with the results. That's the way it goes. But it was a big day of testing for us.
Absolutely. Does that go the whole weekend? Is it a day?
It was
or-
a whole day. We had junior black belts, we had first degree black belts, second degree black belts, and Tai Chi testing.
That's got to be exhausting for you.
Yeah, I mean, who grades the students? Is it just you?
No, it's not just me. We actually have a board. We had 2 master instructors. We had several third degrees, second degrees that were all helping the test. When we do fourth and higher, we usually have at least 12 people on the board.
Wow. Okay.
So it's very important that I'm not the only one testing because I'm going to show bias for my students. So
course.
I'll help them get there,
Right.
and then they've got to pass the other people.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense,
sense.
To remove that bias. So
Remove
that
that
it's a
bias.
true,
It's a true test.
it's a true test, yeah.
Yep.
So it sounds to me like not everybody passes or not everybody gets their
Not
their
everybody
black belt.
passes. No.
Yeah.
And that's important. It is a test. A lot of schools will have the idea that there's a promotion every 3 months, and that becomes just time to get sweaty, and then you pass your test. This has to be a pass or fail. Yeah, it has to be. It's hugely important to be able to look at people under stress.
Right.
So that's why they fail.
So you talked a little bit about the pass or fail.
Right.
Why is it so important to test and to do this then?
I think it's really important to test because we can't actually attack you in the parking lot to see how you do under stress.
Right.
So where's the stress? I want to succeed at this level, so you put stress on yourself.
Right.
Then you've got a whole group of people watching you that adds more stress. And so we see everything elevate. And what we really like about that situation then is that we see really where the skill set is.
Right.
Wow.
Without crossing the line into,
course.
you know.
Of course.
Do you see it differ sometimes? Like for this under the stress, do you see people that you thought were
yeah.
were
yeah.
higher level and then
You see stuff you've never taught before. You see,
Really?
yeah, you see things, and then on the other side, you see some amazing things happen that
Sure.
where something clicks and works
Yeah.
right there because there was no thought. It was just bang, do the
Right.
technique,
Wow.
and
Right.
that was it.
it's got to
Right.
make you proud?
It was very proud. Yeah, very
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah, you know, I never kind of put that together in my mind that stress is an important part, and dealing with stress is an important part of martial arts training,
Yeah.
really, because
Very
that's
much.
really ideally,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you don't want sparring to be the only time that you ever use martial
No,
arts. You want to
right.
be able to use it when you need it, and
Yes.
most of the time those are in stressful situations.
Yes, they are very much.
Yeah.
Especially in the Tai Chi. I mean, it's supposed to help to bring us down and calm
Right.
us down, but it's still about fighting.
Right.
And so we actually then fight in that calm manner.
Right.
And yeah, that's stressful.
Yeah, and you mentioned Tai Chi. Do you test people in Tai Chi? I mean, there are different levels of Tai Chi?
We do. There's really not different levels of Tai Chi, typically because people taught us as wellness. We are changing that in our group. We are actually looking at those levels and how they'd be equivalent to a black belt because we actually do fight with it. We have people that are in their 60s here that are training in my school that are training at a lower level of contact, but are still learning the self-defense portion of the art on top of the wellness.
Okay.
So when you test Tai Chi, do you do it in the same way that you would karate?
No, the intensity is a lot higher in the karate. A lot more intense. We put armor. We're actually hitting people. In Tai Chi, it's a shorter test, but there's still we have to do at least 4 techniques out of our form and that beginning level, that what would be considered our black belt level. We still have to do techniques and show that you can interpret and use the information that we've given you. So it's a little different in that intensity. I'd say the intensity is here, you know, where the intensity for the karate class is almost double.
Wow. So the stress isn't quite the same.
Yes, it's not the same.
Right, right. And I'm going to throw you a little curveball here, Chris, today.
Yep.
I don't want you to mention any students' names, but what was your proudest moment this past weekend?
We had some unbelievable techniques that resulted in knockouts.
Yeah,
And
knockouts.
knockouts,
Wow.
we do pressure point knockouts,
Okay.
and a light pressure, we just saw the technique work, and dunk, and then the person on the floor, we see the eyes get big, like, what'd I just do? And the technique was wonderful.
Right.
And so that happened several times this Saturday. It was great.
That's great. That's great.
So how quickly did they come back around? You know, the person that's
Oh,
out.
it's like a TKO. It's not a full. We're not laying there unconscious. We're incapacitated for about 10 seconds,
Really?
which in a fight is a huge amount of time.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And so by targeting the pressure points, we actually get a very large response with minimal strike. We don't have to use the blunt trauma. We
Right.
can
Wow.
Use targeting to do our job.
Yeah. That's always something that really interests me about how you guys practice and teach martial arts is that you are very efficient with your movements.
We have to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not a competitive martial arts style in any way, shape, or form, and so that means everything has to be useful.
Right.
And if it's not useful, it has to be thrown out.
Right. Chris Martingilio from
Thank you.
Martingilio
Thanks so
Martial
much.
Arts, thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
for
us
coming.
today. Don't go away, there's more Wisconsin Family coming up after the break. Stay right here.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are at Zenith Limousine and Jets. It's the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to talk right now with Jermaine and Samantha. How are you guys?
Good.
Thanks
Good.
for coming on today. Thanks for hosting us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
no
course. It's
problem.
been fun.
Yeah, you're festive and everything. You've got the Christmas tree up. The present is a big gift over there with my name on it.
It is. It is.
Excited to-
That is actually your gift.
Awesome. Well,
Yes.
I'll load it into my truck later on. So, you guys do valet service, which I think is really cool. You'll come on site and do valet service for different businesses. What is the difference between a visitor and a resident?
I'll let Sam answer that.
Yeah, so with our app, for different venues, they have different options, like we explained last time, depending if they want to do it every day, if it's just a one-time special event.
Right.
But the app is also good for, say, a company wants to do parking for their employees, like downtown Madison, the hospitals, where the employee will pay for the parking, but then the company kind of takes it over.
Sure.
So if a company decides that they want to do that, we actually attach a keychain to their keys that stay on all the time. So they come up to work, we scan their tag, they go into work, they're getting ready to leave work, they text us, let us know, we grab their car, clean everything off for them, make sure they're good to go, and that's it. So that's kind of the resident side of the app. Where a visitor is like when we're at a restaurant and people are coming and going for dinner, then that way it's a one-time and done type of thing.
Right. So the residents are the kind of recurring people who
Yes.
are working at that establishment typically. And I love how you said you clean everything off because we're heading into the
Yes.
winter.
Yeah.
So you will actually do that for folks, which is I think worth it in and of itself.
Oh,
really.
definitely.
And the car is all warmed up. It's,
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
yeah,
It's definitely
I mean,
worth it.
sign up if nothing else for that one.
Right.
So that's really nice now. But these residents, do they have an app or something on their phone that they use?
They do, yes. So it's the same digital valet app, but they are actually able to kind of separate it. So we have the business side where we have access to every venue, every car that we check in, where the customer, they actually have a separate app for that. That way they can go in and they can see their own log sheet of when they've parked, where their car is parked. They can also see who's driving it, things like that. So
that's nice.
it's personal and it stores all of their information and only they can see it. So it's very private as well.
Yeah, I like that you've got that information too of not having to wonder like where is your car parked
Right,
or
yeah.
who's
Exactly.
driving it. It's just an extra peace of mind, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
for
It's
people
comfort.
to know.
It's comfort. Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely.
Now, is this app secure? Does it store your information?
It stores your information when you're a resident, but only
Okay.
you have access to that. But say you're a visitor and you're coming to Rare Steakhouse in Madison, we ask for your phone number, but once we put that phone number in and it texts it to you, we don't have access to that number. So no one can log in, get your number, things like that. It's very secure, so we don't keep anything on the visitor side, so no one will have access to your information.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's very good to
Good
know.
again for peace of mind.
And I think it's really cool that you allow or have that feature available with text messaging so that people can, if they know they're going to be out the door in 10 minutes or whatever, they can text ahead of time so their car is warm and ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Correct.
don't have
Correct.
to
I
wait
mean,
and
it's
hand somebody a ticket and then wait for 10 minutes for them to come and
yeah.
get the
It's
car.
very handy. You're getting your last drink or paying your bill.
Sure. Right.
Car's ready for you.
Sure. And my question is this: what happens if my phone dies? Because I'm not always the best about charging my phone
Yeah.
before I go out. So what
Yeah.
happens if my phone dies and I can't text?
You charge your phone.
Thank you, Jermaine.
Charge your phone. I mean, we haven't had that happen yet.
Okay.
That I know of.
Sure.
Twice.
Oh,
It's
twice.
it's
Oh, there we
happened
go.
twice. But it's not a problem. Most people know their keys and we have the tag number. So if someone comes up, we can actually go on the app and say, oh, what car did you have? And then they can say, oh, it's a red Durango. So we go, oh, this is the red Durango. And because we take a picture of the license plate with the back of the car, we can then show it to that person without them seeing the other information. So they can say whether it's their car or not. And then it has a number linked to that key, so we know what key is theirs. So if it does die,
Yeah.
it's not a problem.
So make sure you know your license plate.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
If your phone dies and you don't know your
Yeah,
license plate
yeah.
number,
Yeah.
you might not see your car for
No,
a while.
you're taking a cab home for sure.
So does the venue then have the option of doing like a ticket, like a classic paper ticket, or is
Yes.
it always digital?
Nope,
Yes.
they do have the option.
Yeah, they do. Some people don't like to give out their phone number,
Yeah.
so we revert back to the old days with the 3-part paper ticket.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so it is an option.
That is an option.
Good to know.
That's good. So, you know, we've talked a lot about the valet service, but we have a little bit of time left, and I want to make sure that we get to the limousine and the jets part. Can you talk to us a little bit about what do you offer for limousine service?
So for limousine service, we offer your typical, you know, Lincoln Town cars. We do have an SUV limousine, and we cover the state. So we cover the entire state of Wisconsin: proms, weddings,
Wow, okay.
homecomings, birthdays, funerals, you name it.
How does that work then? I mean, if you're covering the whole state, do you have satellite locations where you have drivers that live in different parts of the state that can go pick people up? Or
No,
do you
we
send them from
actually
Madison?
send them from here.
Wow.
Yeah, we send them from this office here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of business outside of the Madison area?
Oh yeah, we cover the state. So
Yeah.
most of the times with the high schools, their proms are in the same time.
Sure, yeah.
Oh,
So Green Bay might be out of limos.
Right.
And they're calling
That's
us
true.
to come up.
That's true.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What's your range? How many passengers can you fit?
We can go from 2 to 15.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good size. That's a good size.
Very good size.
What about the jets? Tell me about the jets part.
So we have a lease on a jet, and
All right.
we can fly you private from where
Really?
we need to go.
Really?
Yeah.
It's about a 15-minute drive back to work from here. Can you fly me
Give
out?
You could, yeah, you could. You probably wouldn't get off the ground though. But
No, yeah.
What are some of the amenities that you offer in the limo?
there's ice, there's champagne glasses. If you want soda or something to drink, we can provide that, non-alcoholic, of course. And then mirrored ceilings and lights and stereos and those type of things. So.
Sure. That's fantastic. I think that's so amazing that you are all over the state and that you have the capabilities to cover that big of a territory. Are you going outside of the state at all at this point? Are you going down to Illinois or Iowa? or anything?
No, we're not crossing state lines at this point.
Okay.
We do have offices in other states, but we're not
Sure.
crossing state lines at this point.
Okay, so you're keeping all the business right here in Wisconsin.
Correct. Correct.
Local. Folks.
Yes.
This is Samantha and Jermaine
Yes.
from Zenith Limousine and Jets and Valet. Get that in there. So thank you
Yes.
so much for joining us
Yeah,
today. and
thank you
for
so
hosting.
much. It's my
Thank you.
pleasure.
That's all the time we have for Wisconsin Family. We'll see you next time.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine